So today we get to take a look at Hunting Simulator 2. Thanks to the developers, we get to kind of get an early look at it before it's actually released. So we're going to go ahead and make a new game. I did actually play the tutorial just to kind of get a feel for the game, but we're going to do that again just because I think it's actually important. But we'll select our character and get straight into this.
Rise and shine. It's a big day. Time for you to participate in your first hunt. I'll be guiding you from a distance, giving out some tips as you go. Are you ready to take on the elements?
So I know we actually can't move until he gives us instructions, but we'll go ahead and get going with this.
Okay, then. Let's get started, shall we? Would you mind stepping out of your cabin and taking in that fresh scent of nature?
There we go. So we can actually move.
Now let's get down to business. There should be some tracks nearby. Walk around a little, you should be able to find some.
Now, as I said, I've only played as far as the tutorial, and I don't know, how obvious tracks are going to be throughout the rest of the game. That's one of the things we'll certainly be paying attention to as we go along here, but they do guide you directly to this one.
There we go. That's your first track. Now, you're going to have to analyze this track if you want to know what kind of animal we're hunting today.
So we do that with E, which is good.
The fabled white-tailed deer. A classic. Okay, so we know it's a whitetail. We don't have a license or a weapon for it yet. Would you mind marking this location on your map and then returning to the cabin?
So I might have forgot I'm supposed to mark that, but we'll be able to head back there.
Okay, I think you're ready to go hunt that whitetail now. Oh wait, before you head out, I got you a little surprise.
It's kind of cool the way they actually show this.
That's right. It's your very own hunting vehicle.
But we get to start with the dog.
Why don't you go ahead and give the dog a name?
And I'm going to name him after my favorite little pup in real life, which is Jax.
That's an awesome name. Reminds me of my old border collie. Okay, so let's get back to those tracks.
And luckily,
Your map to find the marker you placed.
even though I didn't quite mark them properly, I think I marked somewhere nearby.
Dog found the track. Good job. And you should praise them for doing a good job. This will increase their drive and make them more obedient.
So we can do the praise command.
Now that you have your dog with you, you can instruct them to follow a trail from this track. The dog is following a trail. They'll go to the next track and wait for your next instructions. Give it a try.
So I quite like the wheel for how to actually give commands and stuff. Pretty easy to do, and of course this
Let's
game,
keep following this trail for a bit. I'm sure you'll run into something eventually.
this game is actually available for PC and console, so wheels like that are quite good for both of those. But yeah, we'll follow our dog for a little ways. He's going to just track the deer pretty much just for us. And every now and then, if we stay right behind him, we will actually pick up tracks since he's following right along where the footprints are. But we have a bit of a ways to go from how I played in the tutorial, and I think we'll kind of just skip through the tracking because it's not anything too special. I think that's one of the reasons they give you a dog.
Hunting can be a slow game. You need to have nerves of steel and an incredible amount of patience. If you keep following the tracks, though, you're bound to run into an animal eventually.
Basically, the tracks aren't super obvious, but I think that's what the dog is there for, to actually kind of make them more obvious for you. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here, and that kind of plays the cutscene for our deer to show up. As I said, I did play through this.
Now all you have to do is climb into it. There you go. Now that you're in a stand, it's time to play the waiting game. You don't have to wait in the stand, but it gives you a nice vantage point and makes you less noticeable. Okay, let's wait a bit more. My instinct is telling me something good is about to happen. There, a white-tailed deer. Don't shoot it just yet. You need to carefully plan your shot. Take a deep breath and aim for its vital organs.
So he'll kind of walk across here,
Wait for it.
and eventually he'll stop for us. And I believe shift is hold breath while you're aiming, so we can hopefully be a little steadier. But I believe it stops anyway.
Now,
There we
take
go.
the shot. Good job. You got that deer good. Now, get out out of the stand. Go find the blood trail.
We'll see if we can actually see where it goes down. I mean, our dog's going to help us, but the one thing that I'm probably least impressed with from the tutorial so far is the kind of fleeing animations and...
Yeah, you always memorize the location where you shot the animal.
Yes, the, like, lack of animation, like, a lack of hit animation, but this is only the second iteration of this game, so that doesn't bother me too much. As far as, like, the graphics and everything, I think it's pretty good. We can actually go to this view. I think the player model is really good.
There should be a blood trail where you shot. Okay, good look at that blood. Now, just follow it, or have the dog trail.
Yeah, so we'll get the dog to follow it, and then we can increase his drive and everything by actually praising him when we actually find the deer, which should be just right up here somewhere. And you can kind of see, like, the blood looks pretty decent the way that it lays on the grass and stuff. It's not perfect, but I do quite like the blood trailing, at least. I mean, this is only the second time I've shot a deer in this game, but it seems when you make a good shot, at least, it's actually consistent blood across the ground, which I like. That's actually pretty realistic. It's maybe a bit much, but for a game where you do need to actually be able to see it, I think they got that pretty good.
There it is. You did it. All you have to do now is bag it, bring it on back to the cabin.
But we want to praise our puppers first. We can bag this, and I actually quite like the way they go about this, and you'll see it here in a second, but we go ahead and bag this now, and it doesn't give us the weight, it doesn't give us the size, the score, or anything, which is really interesting.
Let's head back. You can use your map if you're lost.
But we head back to the cabin, and that's where we get that information, which makes a lot more sense than most hunting games actually kind of do it. They give you the score immediately, which you wouldn't actually have access to, so I quite like actually that aspect, that you do have to return to the cabin. I think that's a cool gameplay thing that most other hunting games don't actually implement. But our dog's finding stuff, which actually kind of seems to happen like as you go along. And I figure anytime it's going to tell me like that the dog did something, I'm going to praise him to try to increase the drive and everything. Because I imagine that actually helps a lot going forward. Maybe for like 4 shots especially, having him help you find the animal, I think that can be really important. But we can get in here.
All you have to do is claim the animal and we're done.
Once we head inside,
you can either trade it in for cash or make a trophy out of it. The choice is yours.
but yeah, we get in here, we can claim our animals, and now we see 25 kg seems insanely low. I'm not sure about that, or the size, I guess that's maybe shoulder height. Score 106, I'm not sure, like, you know, how they're scored or anything like that, but we can go ahead and keep our trophy.
Good job. You did great today. I think you're ready for your first solo hunt. I know you can do it. Just believe in yourself and be patient. Now, let's go back to your lodge. You're ready. Welcome to the hunting lodge. Here you can set up for your hunts and purchase any gear or companions you may need for them. Head over to the computer to access the store and claim your permanent license.
So there's a couple of things I really like about this. This is like a really cool kind of menu idea, because you do have your store and everything from the computer there. And you can see our little bug that we shot here on the wall. And I like the fact that there is like the trophy lodge and stuff. Pretty good looking, and it's decent sized. I don't know if you get to choose anything about like where trophies are placed. To be honest, I didn't try that at all. But we'll maybe give that a look as we go along. But one other thing, we get to actually place our dog, I believe. Need to figure out how I do that, but I know I did it last time. I think actually we have to do this first. But we can get the permanent licenses, like the Bobcat and... I'm not sure what the other license is. Bobcat and... I think Duck was free, but you only get one of the two. But we're just going to buy like the kind of obvious ones, so maybe we'll get a mule deer license. Whitetail license seems like a good idea. Moose. I don't even know what we're going to be hunting just yet, so I won't get too many. There's multiple... Oh, that was an elk. This one's a moose. We'll get that as well. And then we'll kind of go from there and see. But this is all for Colorado, so I assume all of these animals are there. It's just like the number of credits we have to actually pay for everything. So maybe I'll get bear as well, just since they're kind of large. And cougar, because why not? Who knows what we're going to run into. But there are other things we can buy as well, so we can, of course, get weapons. And I want to see like what we have here for rifles. I don't know if it actually gives us a caliber. I think it more just tells you what it's for. Like, for instance, we have, like, the big game one up here. I don't know, maybe somewhere it does say, but here it actually doesn't. Quite like the look of this gun, but all I know is it's a bolt action, so why not? I guess we'll get this one. Oh, we can choose the caliber. That's really cool. I didn't even get this far in the tutorial. I didn't do this. I like that a lot. I really like that you get to choose what your gun looks like and then choose the caliber. So let's go 30-06. I think that's a pretty good all-around caliber. Now that we've purchased that, I don't think we're going to bother with a shotgun or anything right now. We'll get a scope for it, which we'll probably try to get something pretty large. Maybe like a 6x zoom. I like this reticle quite a lot, so we'll go with that one. I like as well they show you the reticle before you buy the scope. That's really nice, because you don't want to buy a scope and then realize it's not something you're really good with using. Binoculars seem good. We are running pretty low on credits already, so maybe we'll go without those because we can use our scope for now. Maybe we can get a deer collar. I do want to actually go ahead and like look at the clothing just so you guys can see it. But there's a fair number of options for like actual customization with your character, which I think is really good. But this style camo is probably the most common I saw like throughout the different options. So like we go to the coach and stuff, it's kind of similar. I don't know if there's actually like really good matching things we can do. I'd have to look through everything. But yeah, this kind of stuff we can get more of. So I'll maybe see if I can put something together. Now the one unfortunate thing is it doesn't actually show you like what you're already wearing. So you kind of have to pay attention to what style camo you're getting. But yeah, we'll go with a jacket. That makes the most sense. Get the gloves. We're barely going to be able to afford all this if we even can. These are the matching pants. We got boots that don't actually match, so maybe I'm not going to bother buying those. Yeah, I can't actually. And we can't quite afford a backpack, but that would match. And once we can shoot a deer or two, we ought to be able to get that as well. But we can also buy more dogs, which obviously right now that's not a thing. I assume you have to unlock them. But we do have our little beagle. And now maybe we can place that as I talked about. Yeah, so now this is actually highlighted, and we can have him sit here. And I really like that. Once we leave this, he actually just stays there, and I think that's another really cool little feature of the game. So there's that. There is the map, I think, with this. Oh, that's achievements. And then there's a wiki here. Like, there's a lot of stuff within this lodge, which is actually really useful. So we can't actually choose the time slot in which we go out, but I think we'll go ahead and stick with morning for that. And I'm trying to figure out, is this is our clothing, so we actually have to equip everything. That I didn't realize, so maybe that's why I didn't show it before. Yeah, now it'll actually show it on our character, so that's good. And I think we match pretty well. Nice. So I don't know where equipment is, I still gotta find that. But everything else we have, I think, sorted to go out. Okay, so it's in through this room, so it's a little bit kind of weird to figure out everything. But we actually start with that other weapon. I think this is the one we start with, and this is the new one that we bought. So yeah, can select that. And do we select a scope in, yeah, through that? So we have that. And we can go ahead and equip any items that we may have bought. So the deer collar. But now I think we're actually set to go out now that we have our loadout all set. And we did select morning, so I think we are ready to actually try something. There is a shooting range. I should maybe look at that super quick. Maybe we actually have to properly sight in our weapon. Let's just kind of see how this hits. Well, good enough to knock it down anyway. I set this one up as well. I would say that's just fine. Kind of interesting how it plays the like heartbeat when you hold your breath. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I mind it. But yeah, gun seems accurate, so let's actually go for a hunt now. So we're finally set to go for a hunt. We are going to go to the meadows, which doesn't have whitetail or mule deer, but they do have sheep and they do have boars. So I grabbed the licenses for those, and I think we are ready to go on a hunt on our own. And this is completely new territory for me. I have no idea like what to expect with this, but it is nice and open. So I do expect to be able to see animals like fairly easily. There's a fox right there, actually. I don't know if I can shoot that with the 30-06. I don't know if there is any like issues with doing that, or if there are calibers that are required for certain animals. but maybe we should just... Oh wait, not a licensed animal. That's right, I didn't get a red fox license. So, worth paying attention to, but yeah, we'll kind of wander around and see what we can find out here. But it's good they tell you, like, that it's not a licensed animal. Alright, so there we go. 2 elk. That back one actually looks pretty big. And, I mean, as far as the meadows go, it's quite easy to spot animals. So let's see if we can get him. That looked perfect, and that actually is, like, huge compared to that one that's right beside him. But you can kind of see where the bullet impacts, and he hasn't gotten down yet, but I thought that hit him pretty well. We won't be able to actually go up and analyze the blood, but I'm wondering if we may need a follow-up, because he is still going. I mean, maybe a good thing, because it's a really large animal, and even still a 30-06 is going to take a while to bring him down. But maybe that means wounded when he was yellow? I'm interested. Well, he certainly hasn't died yet, and it's actually been a while, so I'm thinking we just didn't hit him very well. Let's see if we can make that better. Well, that worked. So I wonder what the difference was. Like, maybe we hit him too far forward. We did sort of aim... That's the wrong button. We did sort of aim a little bit in front of him to try to make up for the fact that he was walking, but maybe that was too much. But actually, not bad to kind of see this angle. I quite like the camo. I think it looks really good. I think the player model is really, really well done. But, yeah. Does it tell us any information about the hit? I don't think it does. Just tells us the distance. And maybe we can see some more stuff when we get back to the cabin. But we can bag that and... Oh, okay. So licenses allow you to take 3 animals, or at least the elk license does. Maybe it's different for different species, but there is another little bull down there. But I think we should actually go and look for something else, such as a pretty decent looking sheep. So the meadows really, really make it easy to hunt. I think maybe that's just gonna be a byproduct of the fact that you can see so well, but I mean, it's quite the easy thing spawning animals around here. Certainly that sheep is smaller than that first one we spotted. I want to go get the bigger guy. I'm half tempted to go ahead and shoot that sheep and then go find the other one since he walked over the hill. I think we may do that just to see. He did start walking right as we shot. Definitely hit him again. Did we hit him in the leg, maybe? He's not doing real good. Unethical hunt, too many shots. Okay, well, let's not do that again. But kind of like, that's actually similar to Call of the Wild in a sense. More than 2 shots, and you lose kind of like the integrity. So seems it works the same way with this, which is honestly a pretty interesting way of like encouraging like ethical hunting, which I do think is a good thing in hunting games, is trying to find a balanced and like, I don't know, fair way to try to encourage it. And I think that's actually a decent way. You're not going to lose your trophy from this, but you do have the fine, which I don't know how much money you're going to make from a bighorn sheep, but maybe it sort of balances itself out anyway. But yeah, that was a little far, 259 meters. You know what I just realized? The red organ is what you hit. I don't know why that didn't occur to me earlier, but yeah, we're still able to bag that and move to the cabin. And yeah, it actually is different for different species. So sheep license, we can shoot up to 5 animals. And
Good job.
keep on praising our dog, but I want to go find that other sheep that was up here. And maybe we can have him actually find the track of it. But I want to get that, and then probably we will be wrapping up this video. So it looks like he decided to come this way. I just don't know if there's any way of actually like making him stop. And just because of the way the elk went and the bighorn actually as well, I'm not really sure about taking a walking shot, but I think that's what I'm going to do. He's actually getting pretty close. It should be quite doable, and when he gets into the open just a little bit past that grass, try it. I mean, that looks really good. And honestly, from the back, that's a good-sized sheep, I think. And we do know from the whitetail in the tutorial, they'll run like a decent distance before going down, even with a good hit. But I'm going to go straight over to where we actually saw him go down, and we'll get the doggo to come with us, but he's still going? Like, maybe we didn't get a good enough hit. Maybe we're going to need to try it again. I wonder if that's our sheep. Kind of difficult to tell for sure, like, if it is the same animal again. We have elk out there. Another pretty big one over on that side. But we did get one already that looked like that. So one thing that I will say seems to be the case is broadside shots are more important, because did that just spook our sheep? Wonder if it's the dog running around?
Stay.
Maybe I need to get him to stay, actually, before we go and track the sheep, but in that case, maybe we will go try to get one of the elk just to try it again. This guy's actually feeding standing still. I just want to see, like, a single shot. I know where he was standing, so we're just going to go straight to the blood, and we're going to see, like, what that does. Because I'm wondering if there's just, like, not a whole lot of shooting through a shoulder or anything that's going to happen, because that's what we tried to do with our sheep. And I don't think it died. I got to still try to look for its blood, which I tried to have the dog find it, but there's tracks everywhere because there were a bunch of sheep over there. But I want to get an idea of what happens with a shot like that, which it maybe did hit a little low. He might have been too far away. Kind of hard to tell. Says bright blood, but also he's literally like right there, seemingly just fine. And now he's limping. Like, I don't know. Did he just go down? He may have. So he did just go down right here. And I guess we hit him in the stomach and the lungs, so maybe the first shot was stomach? I honestly have no idea. I'm slightly confused about the whole thing. But it does seem the blood actually stays, which makes it a little more difficult to actually track stuff, because then that's still there, but I'm still not too sure about our sheep. That's actually probably him right there, to be honest. Because that is the direction he had gone. I don't know if he's spooked or what he's doing, but probably we can only shoot him one more time based off what we saw with the other sheep, so guess we'll try to scoot in closer and get a broadside shot, unless he stands still. Okay, what I think is going on is they're kind of at the corner of the map, and they're stuck not knowing what to do. So they're sort of just running in circles, unfortunately. I don't know if this is going to be a common thing. Hopefully that can be fixed. But it does seem that's what's happening. Now, every now and then he'll actually stop and be still for a minute. And I'm going to try to catch him, like, while he's doing that, just so we can get him and head back. But, yeah, I don't really know what else I can do, because he does seem to be just sort of running in circles. Probably shouldn't take the frontal shot, because every other time we tried something like that, it hasn't worked, but he finally stopped where he wasn't facing away from me, and I figured, at that point, time to give it a shot. So we got him, and we didn't have a fine, so I suppose that's a plus. And, yeah. Still don't really know what the deal is with them running in circles. It seemed like the fox actually took off as well, so I don't know, but you can see we're, like, almost at the corner of the map here, so my guess is that's kind of what the issue was, but honestly, pretty good looking motto on the sheep. All the animals seem to have that really ragged looking fur, which is a little bit weird. But, oh wow, maybe a frontal shot's a good thing, I don't know. Definitely something to look into more, but we need to head back to the cabin, which would be right there. And I don't know how I just marked that there's a cougar there. That's not what I meant to do. I just want to go back there, but okay. And we should be able to go ahead and... Jeez. Apparently spook a bunch of birds, but also claim our animals. So we have the 10-year-old elk. I like the age, by the way. I like that they show that. That was that first one we shot that was pretty big. I think, man, I could sell them for 900 credits, which is a lot. But I think I want to keep that one, which is left control. We got the... That's the first sheep. He should be smaller. So we'll sell that. This is the second elk, so we can sell that. And this is the second sheep. It should have been the bigger one, although he's younger. So honestly, I have no idea, but I thought he was bigger. I didn't even look at the score of the last one, so unfortunately, I'll have to look back when we edit, but refill ammo. Does that cost anything? Oh. I was wondering where that was, so that's good to know. It's actually in the cabin, so I don't know if 18 rounds is just the standard, but at least for the 30-06, that's where that's at. But we got our bighorn over here. I'm pretty happy with the bighorn model, to be honest. I think it looks better than the whitetail anyway. Like I said, a little bit kind of, I don't know, scruffy looking fur, but honestly pretty decent. And where is our elk? Up there, actually. That appears to be a little bit buggy. Again, this is like not a full release thing, but you see the antlers are actually behind his head. So that's something I assume that needs to still be worked on. But yeah, I mean, the racks aren't great or anything. Actually, the bighorn horns look really good, but the elk and the whitetail are definitely passable. Not amazing, not bad, just pretty average, I would say, but quite honestly, I'm happy with what I saw in this video. We are going to go to, I don't know what they called it, the forest, or yeah, the Roosevelt forest. We'll look for some whitetail, some mule deer, elk and moose probably. Maybe I need to look into getting a bigger gun. I don't know that I could afford that right now, but yeah, definitely another video coming out on this, and we'll sort of go from there as far as what I think. But so far, I think it's a good hunting game. I don't think it's like, you know, anything amazing, but certainly something I'm going to play, you know, once it's released and everything. I think it's a pretty good improvement over the original hunting sim game. So, yeah, definitely cool to actually get to try it out. A lot of stuff that I like, and definitely looking forward to getting to try out some more stuff. So, I think that's going to do it for this video. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.